Hello, I'm Princess Serena, not Princess Serena, and today I'm going to show you my updated Pixar collection because I finally put the aliens on their board that I got at the Disney store a couple weeks ago. Et voila! It's not in my background, but it is a little bit more to the side. And I downsized quite a bit again, so I rearranged my Pixar boards recently, as well as my Wall-E one. I did keep majority of them, and honestly, I thought I downsized a lot because of all the pins I took off, but then I put it on this new board and it literally looks as full as ever. So it's all about how you place the pins. And I really love how I put the board, and as you can see, these boards are a lot more bare, but I am planning on getting more pins / already have some more on the way for those collections. So without further ado, let's get into it. Bum ba da bum ba ba bum ba ba da. The aliens. Ooh, oh my goodness. They move really easily on this board, which I have read, which is why I was also pretty hesitant getting it in the first place. But again, it was super on sale. I got it at my Disney outlet if you haven't checked that video out. But it's okay because I'm not planning to take them in and out or anything, and it's going to be straight up on my wall. I absolutely love this. I never realized how colorful this collection is just because now it is on a black foam core, and I think that is absolutely perfect for this collection to really show it off and do it justice. And oh, look at the little Wall-E, which you'll see my Wall-E board real soon. My Pixar collection has definitely had quite the journey. It started filling up this whole board. Then I put it onto this board and it was like full to capacity, like really close. Then I put it on a smaller board, and finally I put it back on this board so I could fit my Luca marquee on it, as well as the other Grail pins I have over here, the LE500 ones. So here it is as of now. I have no doubt in my mind it will change, but for now I am very happy with this. So basically I grouped together the same movies and I spaced it out. So the pins could actually breathe, which most of my boards do not breathe very well. So this board represents my favorite Pixar films minus my favorite one, of course, which has its own board. So here's Bugs Life. Then we have Monsters Inc. And of course you have to have a Boo pin and a Mike pin. And how can you not have a Sully pin, you ask? Well, there he is peeking in there, collecting those scares or maybe laughs. Depends what part of the timeline you're in, you know? Then we have Finding Nemo here, and they definitely tell the story on their own. You got Marlin and Dory trying to get to Nemo, and then we have where Nemo ends up. Then for Ratatouille, I have 3 of the 4 of the Paris booster set. I don't have a Remy in his chef hat because he's in this middle pin right here with his brother. Say cheese. You get it. Because it's cheese and it's a picture. And then even though, of course, this is a PTD, Pin Trader's Delight, and this obviously does not go with the booster set, but I think it, like, the aesthetic really goes. Like, we have all of the chefs, and then we have the critic holding the food that the chefs made. And in this case, it's an ice cream. And then we have 1 of each Toy Story film. Toy Story is definitely the movie I downsized the most over the last couple months, just because I used to have a whole board dedicated to Toy Story back in the day. It was probably like 6 months ago, to be honest. But I think it is perfect to have 1 of each film that actually says the number. And then we have the anniversary key representing when Toy Story began in 1995 to its 25-year anniversary in 2020. We got all the emotions for the 5th anniversary. Can you believe that Inside Out was already celebrating an anniversary? And then this is a fantasy pin my friend gave me. I can't seem to get rid of it because it's so cool. It has all the emotions without their actual face structure. It's just like their facial features and sometimes their hair, and with sadness is literally just her glasses and her eyes. Like, it's very distinguished because the color of their face is like on the wheel, and it does spin. the Luca marquee that I recently acquired, which is beautiful, which it has to be because the movie is so stunning. And then we have 2 of the 5 Coco Booster Pack pins. I did have all 5, but I just decided to keep the main characters. And then we have Miguel in his skeleton form as well. And it says "Remember Me," which is literally the epiphany of the whole film. So I thought it was important. I kept that one as well. And I think it looks so good because they're both holding the guitars too. So here's an overview of this board. On to the next one. This board, I actually didn't take anything away. I mean, technically I took away the aliens, but I put them on their board, which you already saw. But these, along with the aliens, used to be up here. And I actually am so happy that I got the alien board for yet another reason, because it helped me display what I'd like to call my Pixar sets collection even better, in my opinion. I would have never thought of putting like all of the fish tanks like in a row like this. Like it fits exactly down. It's just so satisfying. And then same thing with this, like because I did that, this fits perfectly with the 10 Toy Story poster pins. And this is easily one of my favorite boards now, but I think out of all my boards, this is the one that's most perfectly placed. Like there's not one awkward gap. It is completely evenly spaced, and the collections don't look out of place at all. And there's just enough room for the puzzle pieces that I've yet to acquire. And then we got my favorite Pixar board, the Pixar alphabet, which I didn't change too much because I have shown on this channel the complete alphabet set. However, I did add a few months ago to the bottom of it. Every single time I add to the bottom, like I honestly think this is it. This board is never changing ever. And then I somehow find a way to add more, and then it looks even better. But for real this time, this has been the display for the last couple months, so I really do think this is it this time. Pixar has clearly been a collection I've been pretty easily been able to downsize. However, this collection, I know I'm never ever touching this board just because it is so perfect, and still boggles my mind how they were able to choose what character went on each pin, because like at first you think, oh, like why didn't they put W for Woody? Like there's Buzz and no Woody. That's so weird. But then you're like, well, W has to be Wally because Wally has to be represented, obviously, and it's this whole thing. And obviously X, they have to get really creative by just putting like the fish in Finding Nemo that like makes different shapes. But other than that, they found a character for every single letter, like including Q, including Y, including Z. And then on the bottom, it's just so cute, and it does not take away at all from the collection just because it is all similar colors here. And then the collection is just so colorful and detailed. And then of course I have my Ratatouille pin collection here, which nothing has changed since I recently showed it on this channel. However, I did recently trade for one of the ones I'm missing, so I'm that much closer to making Ratatouille here. But you won't be seeing it for a while just because I did trade someone else for pins that they wanted. I have to wait for those to come in and then I could do the trade. See, I make trades very complicated, but honestly, that is how I get my biggest ISOs most of the time. I don't have pins that they want with my traders, but then I use my traders to get other pins, and there's an art to pin trading. Like it's luck, but it's also skill, you know? It's part of the fun. So here is 7 of the 12 ingredients of Ratatouille that's included in this collection on the board that I painted myself. My newly downsized Wally collection. It is so... I was gonna say it's so vertical. It is so long, this board, but I absolutely love it. So let me show you a closer look. So what I did with this one was I put all the space themed pins at the top because obviously space. And then as you go down, there's ones that, you know, you wouldn't be sure if they're space or earth. It could kind of be anything. And it kind of starts with this one over here because he's on earth, but then you could also see space. And then after that line, you can see all of the earth pins. The Christmas ones are earth because of that scene. And then you see mostly Wally at the bottom and mostly Eve at the top. And then you have the odd one of them together down here on earth, which is super special. And I have a little bit of room down here for more. I know I got rid of a bunch, but if something really catches my eye, like maybe a new pin or like a grail pin that the opportunity kind of presents itself, like I won't be actively hunting for these, but if I do see one that really catches my eye, I definitely will go for it because WALL-E, after all, is still my favorite, not only Pixar movie, but Disney movie, to be honest. It's just so special. They're my favorite Disney couple. They're just so wholesome, and it just how much they both learn from each other, and oh gosh, and then of course the messages in the movie. And if you want to hear me gush about WALL-E a lot more, check out my Pixar ranking video and check out my other WALL-E board collection video, which I'll link as well. And if you have any questions about specific pins, I can totally answer them in the comments as well. That's it for my updated Pixar collection. I hope you enjoyed. It's very interesting because I don't really consider Pixar a main collection anymore just because I'm very specific with what I get. However, it's literally the majority of my boards also, but I kind of like it. It disperses them, and I have collections within collections. And yeah, for the WALL-E pins, I just realized that I wasn't really trading for them so much anymore, and I was looking at them, and I don't know, it didn't spark as much joy. But my new board definitely does, even though it's made up with the same pins minus maybe 20, 30 of them. But just the way that you display it definitely makes a difference, and it's a fresh new look. And if you haven't already, please subscribe for more pin-related content from me every Tuesday. And I would love to know in the comments below what your favorite board of mine was. And as always, take care of yourselves and have a magical day. Bye!